Hi guys, we're going to do something a little bit more advanced today. Not too hard. It's kind of a popular up-and-coming technique that has been out there for a little while now. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it. You ever seen those soaps that are cold process but have the shimmering micas on top? Now when you soap a mica, you lose the shimmer. You get the great color, but you don't get that pretty shimmer. This is a technique that you can add to the tops of your soaps. Now there's two ways. You can do one with oil if you want a nice smooth flat top with beautiful shimmer on it. And two, you can do it with glycerin if you want it to soak in and create almost like a crater where the glycerin has been absorbed into the soap and it leaves just the mica behind. I'm going to do both techniques, but today on this soap, we're going to do the oil and gold mica. On the next video, I'm going to be doing brown sugar and fig with the glycerin method. Okay? So I'm going to show you how it's done. It's really quite simple. So, I've got my soap oils all melted out and everything here. And you don't need a lot. Less is more, okay? So, I'm going to take out about a tablespoon's worth of oil. There we go. And now, I'm going to add a teaspoon of micas, gold mica. There we go. And we're going to stir this up till it's fully incorporated. You know, I keep telling myself I'm going to get one of those little frothers. Oh man, I mean it. I need to get one this month. But for now, just go ahead and stir it in. Just try to make sure it's completely saturated all the way. And once you do that, go ahead and set it aside. And we're going to move on to the next technique on how to do a cocoa line. We'll be right back. Okay, so for the second half, I have here cocoa powder and kale and clay. Now the beauty of this chai tea, man, it smells so true to chai tea. And it doesn't discolor a lot. It does kind of like a light brown or dark tan. But from what I want to do, I'm going to split this in half. I want the bottom to go natural, but I want that top to be dark brown so that that gold mica really stands out. So we're going to be splitting this batch in half. Okay. Let's get moving. Now, because I couldn't use a ton of extra butters in this, normally I like to really pack it up with butters. I only did a 5% butter on this. So to add to the silkiness, I'm going to add some kale and clay. So I generally add about 1 teaspoon per pound of oils. So I'm adding in 2 teaspoons. And I'm going to give those a swirl around before I even add my lye to it. I'll get all those little bits incorporated. Okay, now we're going to add our lye. Give it a good stick blending, but remember, not too thick. We want to keep it at a light trace. Okay, there we go. I'm going to grab my mold. And now I'm going to add my fragrance. Give that a swirl. And now I'm going to go ahead and pour the first half of my soap. There we go. And now, this is where your cocoa line comes in. If you've got a tea strainer, anything like that, these are fantastic. They keep it from getting too heavy in certain spots. If you make your line too thick, your soap is going to separate. So, you get a little bit in here, and just start tapping away. Light tap. You don't want it thick and heavy, okay? Because that powder can cause a soap to separate if you do it too thick. Just a little bit actually does it. And you can do this with other oxides and micas. Just, again, keep in mind, don't do it too thick. You just want a nice light cover. I'll bring you over to see it when I'm done so you can see how thick I've got it. Oops. Okay. Let's get all that cleaned off. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So it's gonna absorb. You want it to absorb in and get wet, basically. See, not too thick. You can still kind of see a bit through it. I'm going to set this off, and we're going to come back to our soap, and now we're going to add some cocoa powder to it because I want it to go dark. Now, it has thickened up a bit on me, so we're going to stir that down, but it's not too thick. It's still okay. There we go. And stick blend. I want it darker than that. Let's add a little bit more. There we go. Now, it will have a mild cocoa scent to it, but that will cure out, so don't worry about that. A little bit darker. There we go. Almost there. And you don't have to use cocoa. You can use a brown oxide or pigment or anything like that. I just like the cocoa myself. All right. So now we're going to add this to the second half, and I'm going to use the spoon so it doesn't break through that top or that bottom layer. There we go. Level that out. A little bit more. And like I said, try not to overfill your mold. This is more for a flat top kind of soap. I mean, you could do it on a higher one, I'm sure, but it's just going to take a little bit more practice. There we go. Okay. Alright, here we go. So grab your gold mica, give it another good stir. See, it should look like this. Nice and runny. And again, less is more when you're doing this part of it, okay? Now, it's easiest if you use a pipette and just suck some up in the pipette. Now, you may want to go nuts with the gold, and you can, but if you really just want to get a little bit of that really cool shimmer, this will spread out, okay? So just kind of do a little S pattern, maybe some dots here and there. It doesn't take much at all, okay? That's it. That's it. I'm not doing any more on it. See? It starts to spread out, so it becomes a lot wider than it starts with. Okay, I'm going to try to hold you while I do this. And here we go. Up and down. And that's it, folks. Let it set up, and you're going to be amazed. Alright, we'll see it tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It is time to put our soap. Here it is. Beautiful. That shimmer gold is still there. And there is our defined line. Go. Beautiful, beautiful. That smell is still holding true. Now, this is not one of those in-your-face scents. Chai tea is a light to medium, but it is a true chai tea even after saponification. So that is beautiful. There we go. And that gold on there just makes what could be a simple soap really pop. It's an easy enough technique, as you guys have seen, to take some of your less ornate soaps to a whole different new elegant dimension. I just love this technique, and I'm going to really play with it this month. Don't forget, I will be uploading the very next video. I'm preparing for it now. Doing brown sugar and fig with another version of this technique, but with glycerin. So you get to see how it concaves into the soap and creates a crater effect. There we go.